Hello, I'm Captain Doug Hunter of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and I take care of the social media needs of the office. For some time now, I have been interested in bringing you video interviews with some of the convicted criminals from our area. This is done not as a way to glamorize these individuals, but rather as a way to share their experiences and hopefully have others learn from them to where the same mistakes are not made over and over. I'm a firm believer in prevention is much better than incarceration. If we can steer our young people away from committing these crimes, it is going to be much more effective than incarceration or probation or any of these type things. We need to learn from the mistakes from those that have went on before us. Now, David has committed many crimes. He became involved with the legal system when he was just 11 years old, when he was caught trespassing on a neighbor's property while riding an ATV. Since then, he's been in much more trouble than that and has been to prison for burglary, has been involved with heroin, and he has some insight into that. I want you to listen as he tells his story. I apologize that the audio in this particular segment is not what I would want it to be, but I did not want to go back and reshoot this, as he was totally pure and I felt like he was being very honest as he told his story. His story will be brought to you in several different segments, each of them about 5 to 7 minutes in length. So now let's watch and listen while David tells his story.
I knew other people who also did prescription pills just from smoking pot with friends and stuff, just to be in a party and atmosphere. I found other people who also enjoyed that type of buzz, that type of drug. So I would ask around. Hey, do you know where to find these? I mean, a prescription from the doctor doesn't last too long when you're abusing your medication. So you have to find other outlets, and you become resourceful, and you find them where you can. And as on the street was, I mean, you can only go to the doctor so many times to get prescriptions before they tell you that you have a problem.
Yeah.
And then they know why you're coming in. It's not because your back hurts or your leg hurts, it's because you need the medicine. So the option then is, once your doctor cuts you off and tells you, I think you have a problem, and then you find another outlet, and that's the street, finding a dealer. For me, it wasn't difficult.
Is there a level of, I don't know if security is the right word, but you know, if you buy cocaine, you really don't know what you're getting. You know,
Yeah.
With prescription pills, did you feel that there was a level of safety?
Yeah, I did.
With prescriptions that, you know, if it's Vicodin, 10 milligrams of Vicodin here is the same as 10 milligrams. Did you feel safer, I guess?
I did. And for the longest time, I'd had people offer me heroin, and I wouldn't touch it because I'd heard stories. Just one time can be the last time. You never know what they put in it, or it's never consistent. The dosage could vary between batches, and it was really scary. To me, it sounded scary. And with the pain pills, I knew that it's from the pharmacy. It's going to be the same every time. This isn't something that, it varies. I know what I'm getting. And so, yes, I feel like, yeah, I was.
You ever get involved with heroin?
Yes. Yeah.
Talk about it. Did your involvement with heroin come as a byproduct of the prescription medication? Because oftentimes it does.
I wasn't able to no longer locate pain medicine, and I had a pretty good habit of the pain medicine, and I'd run out, and a friend of mine who also did pain medicine, was a pain medicine abuser, we went to obtain some. We went to buy some off of his dealer, and his dealer didn't have any. And so he came out of the house with heroin, and he wasn't able to get the pain pills. He spent his money, my money, on heroin, and I actually didn't know I was doing heroin. I thought I was doing Oxycontin, and I thought he had already just crushed it up. And at this point, I'm snorting my pills. My habit became no longer is eating them good enough. I have to snort them to achieve the same effect.
To achieve that faster.
Yeah, a faster high.
Okay.
And so he hands me the mirror. I think it was a CD case. He hands me the CD case, and I snort it, and immediately knew that it wasn't Oxycontin. And he tells me, you know, it's not Oxycontin, it's heroin. I got heroin while I was in the house, and but I liked it. I liked the way it felt, and I think from that moment on, I wasn't scared of it anymore. It didn't kill me. So the stories that they told me in health class, or the stuff I hear on the news, all that can't be right, because this stuff feels great, and I'm still alive after doing it. So.
And did that turn into a habit?
It did. It did fast. I still, for the longest time, I would try to get the prescription medicine. I would try to get the pain pills. I still felt safer with them. And I guess in my mind, I wasn't as bad of a person if I'm doing the pain medicine. I guess I was trying to not cross a line. And eventually it just, the availability of the pain medicine just wasn't there. There was more and more heroin on the streets available, and the heroin was cheaper and a stronger, better high than the pain pills were. So to get pain pills no longer made sense to me, when I could spend $50 on pain medicine. It might last me half a day. I could spend $50 on heroin. It might last the whole day. And it just, to me, it came down to maybe financial decision too. It was a mixture of it's cheaper, it's better, it's a better high, it's more available. It was a combination of things.
And when you talk about the financial side of it, how much were you spending on heroin a week?
In a week, maybe it's maybe started with 100 to 150 a week, and in the end, it ended up about $600 a week.
And were you working?
I was initially working.
And how did the heroin use interact with your job?
It was terrible. I thought I was working well. I thought I was moving faster, more efficient, but the reports of my coworkers was completely different. I was not on task. I wasn't completing my jobs efficiently. I was taking more breaks. I just became not a good employee.
What type of work were you doing?
At the time, I was doing construction. Yeah.
Known habit. Now, you eventually got caught for that, correct? Were you ever charged with, I don't know.
I was never charged with trafficking, but I did get caught with possession of heroin. Yeah.
What was the outcome of that?
The outcome of that was a year in prison.
Okay. And was that the first time you were in prison? Or?
The first time, yes. I had gone to prison for breaking in, for burglary. I broke into somebody's house to obtain drugs while on drugs, and also to try to retrieve some property of mine that was there. I was really high at the time on a lot of drugs. I was on 3 or 4 different drugs at the time, and decided that it was a good idea to try to go get some of my property back from somebody, and also to maybe take some of their drugs while I was there, because I knew they had them. And I, unfortunately, the people called the cops on me. I didn't think they would. I thought, well, even if they come home, they won't call the cops. They're doing illegal stuff. Why would they? But they did, and I got in trouble, and I went to prison. While on bond, I was so sick at the time. While sitting on bond, I should be staying as far away from these things as possible. I should be avoiding people who do drugs, the whole lifestyle. I should be avoiding it like the plague, and doing nothing but the right thing between court dates to maybe avoid prison. Instead of doing that, I became more and more depressed, convinced already that I was going to prison. Continued to do drugs even more than ever, and ended up getting caught with drugs.
Heroin.
Heroin.